All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are talking about something huge, the massive shift that AI is causing in healthcare. This isn't some far off future concept, it's a revolution that's happening right now, and it is completely redefining what a career in this field looks like. So, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with a number that's, well, it's pretty hard to ignore. A report from Goldman Sachs estimates that AI could potentially replace the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs across the globe. I mean, that is just a staggering figure, and it forces us to ask some really big questions. And that really brings us to the heart of what we're talking about today. Is this massive change a threat? Should you be worried about your job? Or is this actually the beginning of something new? Maybe even the opportunity of a lifetime? Let's break that down. So, first things first, let's be crystal clear about something. AI in healthcare is not science fiction anymore. It is here. It's in our hospitals, it's in our clinics, and believe me, the pace is only getting faster. Right now, hospitals and clinics are weaving AI directly into how they work every single day. For instance, you've got AI algorithms reading millions of medical scans. We're talking x-rays, MRIs, spotting signs of disease way earlier and often with more accuracy than the human eye. And at the same time, AI systems are making the whole operation run smoother, optimizing everything from surgical schedules to how patients move through the hospital. So, with all this change, it brings up a really legitimate question. Which jobs are the most vulnerable to automation? It's what everyone's thinking, so let's take a closer look at the roles that are changing the fastest. The way to think about it is this. AI is an absolute superstar at certain kinds of work, especially routine, repetitive tasks. It's just brilliant at crunching massive data sets, like sifting through millions of health records to find tiny patterns we totally miss. But, and this is a big but, it really stumbles when it comes to things that require empathy, complex ethical calls, and creative out-of-the-box thinking. And that difference is absolutely key. And here's where it gets really specific. The Brookings Institution found that nearly 36% of jobs in healthcare are facing this kind of automation pressure. And if you look closely, you start to see a pattern, right? Roles like data analysts are at risk because AI is just fantastic at finding patterns in data. And things like administrative coordinators, well, a lot of scheduling and coordinating can be automated pretty easily. But look, automation is only one side of the coin. On the flip side of all this disruption is a ginormous opportunity. So now let's turn our attention to the exciting new career paths that AI is literally creating from scratch. And this number just says it all. Job postings that are looking for AI skills in the healthcare world are projected to jump by more than 40% by 2027. That is not a small shift, folks. That is a massive wave of demand for a whole new type of professional. So, what do these new jobs actually look like? Well, first up, you've got the AI Health Data Analyst. And this is not your traditional analyst, not by a long shot. This person needs this sophisticated mix of machine learning know-how and deep healthcare knowledge. They're the ones who can make sense of all the complex data pouring in from AI diagnostic tools, from wearable sensors, even from genomic sequencing. Next, there's the clinical AI specialist. Now, think of this person as the essential translator. They are the bridge between the super smart tech developers and the doctors and nurses on the front lines. They're the ones who make sure that these cool new AI systems are actually implemented safely and effectively, in the real world to help real patients. And as AI gets more and more powerful, this next role becomes absolutely critical, the AI ethics consultant. They make sure these powerful tools are used responsibly. They're the ones asking the really tough questions about algorithmic bias, patient privacy, and informed consent. They make sure we can actually trust the technology that's taking care of us. Okay, so this all brings us to the most important question, right? What skills do you actually need to build to not just survive, but to thrive in this new AI-driven world? Here it is. This is basically the new blueprint. It's not just about being a coder anymore. The professional who's going to be indispensable has a hybrid skill set. You need data literacy to understand what the AI is even saying. You need the fundamentals of machine learning to know how it works. And you absolutely need that deep healthcare expertise to give it all context. And the glue holding it all together? Ethical reasoning and being able to talk to people across all these different fields. And this quote from a recent graduate just brings it all to life. It really hits home, doesn't it? It feels like learning two languages at once because it kind of is. And while it's a huge challenge, it is precisely that blend of skills that makes someone so incredibly valuable today. Okay, so we know what's happening. We know what skills we need to build. Now let's get practical. Let's turn all this knowledge into a concrete, actionable strategy for your career. And hey, if you need a little extra motivation, how about this? The data is showing that healthcare roles that require AI skills can command salaries up to 20% higher than similar jobs without them. So yeah, your investment in learning this stuff literally pays off. So here it is, your roadmap. This is how you lead in this new era. It all starts with building that hybrid expertise we've been talking about. Then, you've got to develop real data literacy. Get your hands dirty with actual projects and really focus on the ethical and regulatory side of things. And underpinning all of it, you have to commit to being a lifelong learner. Because trust me, this field is not slowing down. Now, as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with one last really critical idea. We have talked a lot about tech and data and skills, but what about the things that make us truly, deeply human? What makes us irreplaceable? It's these things right here. These are the abilities that AI can help with for sure, but that it can never ever replicate. Making a tough ethical decision at a patient's bedside, designing a system with genuine empathy, coming up with a creative plan when the data isn't clear. These human-centered skills will always, always be the true heart of healthcare. This quote just perfectly nails the whole conversation. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans with machines. Our role is being upgraded. We're shifting from just performing predictable work to solving huge, complex problems in partnership with AI. So we end up right back where we started, but hopefully with a whole new perspective. AI is here. It is transforming healthcare faster than we can imagine. The roles are changing, the skills are evolving, and the opportunities are absolutely immense. So the only question left to ask is, how will you shape its future?